Can we just have a little update with how things are treatment room wise? First of all, you've got a few names that you were checking on, so where are you up to today?
Yeah, we did. Tuesday wouldn't have been a good time for us to have a game because we had several players who picked up knocks on the Saturday. But we've trained today, and we've had everybody training apart from Tom Pope. So other than that, we've managed to get everybody on the training ground today.
I've got to follow that up, and that's just a precautionary measure, is it? Fingers crossed with Tom Pope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any secret. He's playing with an injury, but the type of lad he is, and because he's so important, then obviously any chance we can have to get him on the pitch, then obviously we keep doing that. But as I say, he's not being 100%, but you'd still have Tom Pope in your team even if he's not 100%.
Yeah, when you've got a player like that with that appetite and that commitment and that dedication for you, it's great, isn't it? You hopefully it rubs off on other members of your squad.
I think we want all the younger players to look at the older players in the team, Michael Tong and Danny Pugh, Casey when he was playing, and Tom Pope, and they need to use them for examples of people who've played for a lot of years but who've still got a desire to keep playing and have got a lot of pride in the way they go about their business, and I think we myself as a manager, my staff, we are fair to the players, but now is a time where some of the players have got to step up to the plate and they've got to do more than they've done all season really. They've possibly done okay in games, but now is the time where a lot of them have got to look at themselves and they've got to start producing on the pitch.
Do you think that the penny doesn't drop for certain age groups in terms of where they are in their career, that in 2 or 3 months it could be all over the Football League season? Do you think that is something that is a big worry in the game as well, not just here?
I think I'd have to say the more experienced older players have had a different upbringing and they're different to deal with to a lot of the younger generations, but I know for a fact, because I've managed in non-league football, if some of them find themselves into that level of football, it will be a massive reality check for them. And a lot of young lads nowadays, they want the trimmings, they want the what goes with being a footballer nowadays, of having an agent, having a nice car, having all the things. But as I say, to have a career, you've got to keep producing week in, week out over a number of years to have a long career. And a lot of players have got to look at themselves and they've got to start doing more.
You sent out a strong side in midweek in your reserve game, and again it didn't come back the best, did it? And again, I suppose that's the ammunition that you have to tell them they've got to perform.
Well, obviously we managed to get the game. I've just been watching it actually, the goals actually from the game, and you send out a strong team, you want some performances, and there wasn't too many that you could say have said to me that they're desperate to get in the team with that performance. So you've got to do your talking on the pitch. It's alright coming into my office and talking a good game, but at the end of the day, it's got to be done on the pitch.
One player that all the supporters keep talking about is Ben Whitfield. Is he in that group? He's got a talent, he's got ability, but he isn't holding that down that regular place now. That when he came,
I don't know. I mean, what are they all talking about?
Him not just actually being in your starting 11, or whether he's in your starting 11, what role you play him and where he plays and what he actually gives you.
Well, you tell me, what has he given us over since the Luton game? What has he given us to warrant playing the team?
That's fair enough. You know, that's you're right. You're the manager.
Well, whether I'm a manager or not, I can only, you know, and if people are saying, basing it on what, you know, I can't. You've got to pick what you see and what you see in training and in the games. And if he was doing well like he was previously, he'd be playing. I'm not going to not pick people who are going to do well. But unfortunately, we've got a lot of players like Ben who are not playing to the level they played in December. And like any player, if you're not playing well, then you can get left out of the squad. But he was one of the players that did better in the reserve game, so he'll now obviously come into consideration for Saturday.
How much help can you give them players, yourself and your coaching staff, when they have got that dip in form?
I think a manager and a coaching staff we're here to help the players, not to undermine the players. But at the end of the day, it comes down to how much a player wants it, how much desire he's got, how much hunger. It's no coincidence that we got our best results when the players were working at the hardest, and they've not worked as hard in games since that period, and we're not good enough to not work at 100%. We said that from the first day we came in. We need everybody working at 100%, and we need to cut out the mistakes that we're making, individual errors which are killing us at the moment. And until we do that, we're not going to win games.
Everything's in your hands, though. You know, you've got plenty of games to go. You've still got a decent points gap from the sides that are fighting for their lives to stay out of the bottom two. So, you know, you could still be looking towards that mid-table finish.
Look, at the moment, it's not. I'm not going to dress things up. We're having a difficult spell. We've got obviously players who are not playing at their best. There is obviously that results in a lack of confidence when you're not winning games. It's difficult as a manager when you're not winning games, and of course you feel the pressure because we're all anxious to get that result, and until we get a win, then that pressure is going to continue to build. So, you know, we are absolutely desperate for a win, but we can't. That desperation can't come across in the games. You've got to do your jobs properly, and like I say, we've got to cut out the mistakes that we're making at the moment.
Full credit to your next opponents. I know it's all about yourself, but they've progressed very nicely this season after, you know, just surviving last year in the Football League. Is that the report, that they've got a bit of confidence in the setup?
I think they've. You know, I remember going to the last game of the season to watch Hartlepool last year. And I remember when Newport scored to stay in the league, and that shows you how tight it was. And they've gone from strength to strength really, and had a good season and done well in the cup. So it shows you that sometimes you just got to get over a sort of bad season, and then you can start afresh. And I think you know, this season's not been enjoyable. We've got to get to the end of the season, and then we've got to have a look at everything.